Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and if you clicked on this video you probably already know what this video is going to be about. Oxbridge rejection. Oxford, to be more precise. Now, just before I get into this video, I don't want this video to have any kind of inference or suggestion of ill will toward the university. I think it's a fantastic place to study. Obviously I wouldn't have applied had I not. And to any of you out there, whether you're waiting for your whether you're about to do your applications, which you will be in about a month's time, and you get a rejection, or hopefully you're accepted and everything goes all well for you, then this video hopefully shouldn't apply to you. But just in case that doesn't happen and you are rejected, then I just want to sort of normalise and destigmatise the aspect of failure in our culture. Because I think in the world of social media, everyone's always winning, everyone's always curating the best parts of their lives, and we only see the best parts. We see the highlight reel of other people's lives, and it applies a pressure to us, guys. It can be really hard on us. So I want to make this video just to normalise failure. So let's get into it. So, I applied on October the 15th of 2014, and I was applying for the retention group of 2015. So I was hoping to start in September 2015 with my Oxford application. And I submitted my personal statement, I did my UCAS application, I worked really hard on it, I worked hard on my grades, everything, and I sent it off. Anyway, so then skip a couple of months down the line, I'm in Paris with my grandma, I'm celebrating my 18th birthday. Anyway, toward the end of the holiday, I was literally in the train station ready to get on the Eurostar back home. And I receive an email. I get Wi-Fi from the station, this train station Wi-Fi, and I click on my phone and it says admissions Oxford, and my heart starts pounding, thinking you have not been accepted for an interview, thinking, you know, something like that was going to pop up on my phone. But quite the contrary, I got an interview. So I went for my interview a couple months later, and it was quite surreal. I was there for like 2 days, and it felt like I was there for a whole month. There was just something about the excitement, the build-up, the tension, just the hype around it all that made it feel so much longer than it was, which is strange because when you're excited about something, it often goes really fast. But it didn't with me. I think I was just savouring every moment of it, having the meals in college, visiting people and meeting people that were already attending there, and just amazed at how talented and grateful, and quite a few of them actually quite humble they were, even though they were very successful going to this university. Now, the college that I applied to was St John's, and I was applying to do history of art. The college was quite a well-off college, so it could afford to pay for things like bursaries and financial help and aid and things like that, because if you're not aware, when you apply to Oxbridge, first of all, you can only ever apply to Oxford or Cambridge, and everything works on a collegiate basis. You don't just apply if you need help, or basically anything from university. You don't apply to the university as a whole, you apply to the college that you're applying to, or that you're residing at. And mine was St John's, the one I was applying to. So I really took all things into account, but it turned out they only had one space for a history of art candidate in each year's intake. So it was I think there were about 14 of us applying for that one space at that college. So it was nothing short of competitive. So anyway, I went for my interview, and I had 2 interviews in total, and they were quite lengthy actually. In my first interview, I was presented with a few numbers of works that I hadn't seen before. I didn't recognise the artist, I didn't recognise even the period they were from. I could only make guesses, and I think that's what they were ultimately looking for, is just a little bit of guesswork and sort of informed guessing and informed estimation to know that you knew your art history, or you knew a little bit about art history and style and house style and things like that. And I got them wrong, but they were quite. At least they said, I don't know if they were just being polite, but they did say that they were quite impressed by sort of my thought process and how I'd got around to my conclusion that this artist had made this work, and this photograph derived from this photographer, and da 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 da. So I thought I'd done pretty well in that one. And then the second interview came around, and boy was that an interesting one. I think it was ultimately that interview that lost me my place. But of course there could have been several contributing factors. The other candidates could have been amazing and excelled at every interview and every test and everything, and I just didn't. So that could have well been an option. It could have been anything. Could have been absolutely anything. But particularly, in all honesty, in my second interview I did flop a little bit. I was so nervous still from the first interview. It was on the same day as the first interview, and I went in and they asked me a number of questions about my application. And it's true, Oxford, I don't know about Cambridge, and I'm sure they have a great application process, but Oxford, they really do tailor some of their questions toward your application. They really read everything. They take everything into account, from the extracurricular activities you've done, everything you've mentioned in your personal statement, to everything that you've said that you like in your personal statement, to what you dislike, to your GCSEs, to your A level and your AS level results, everything. They take into account everything. And I was asked about them, and I just didn't have the confidence to say what I wanted to say and to get it out. So if you're watching this and you are going to be interviewed during your application process, then please just have confidence. Please just believe in what you're saying, because otherwise, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? So my second interview was a bit of a flop, and I had dinner that night at the college, and then I set off the next morning. And I'll be honest, I came back and I just wasn't quite sure, because my first interview went so well, my second interview didn't go well at all. I just didn't know if we were going to balance each other out and turn to an acceptance or turn to a rejection. I just wasn't sure. So I waited and waited and waited until I finally, January came around, January the 6th, I remember it well. And less said, the day culminated in me sitting against my bedroom door at my parents' house, crying with a letter in my hand. I hadn't got in. And so this is sort of the crux of the video, I guess. I ended up studying history of art, as I said, and as I applied to do at Oxford. But I ended up going somewhere else. And I know it sounds cheesy and a little bit cliche, but things really do happen for a reason. And I ended up going to this place. I ended up studying in London. It was a specialised place to study history of art, and it's ranked top, above Oxford, above Cambridge, above everything, and it's ranked top for the subject. And I ended up meeting some incredible people there. It was a real wild journey of a time while I was there. I did have a lot of health implications, but that aside, strictly speaking, for the academic journey I went on while I was doing my degree at my university, I just can't say enough good things. The staff were just top notch. The resources were top notch. The lectures were top notch. The library resources were top notch. Everything just top notch. And I just can't say enough good things. So yeah, so things do work out for a reason. and I ended up graduating, and I got a 2-1. I didn't get a first. My health implications and the things I came across health-wise, and some of the problems I had while I was doing my degree did get in the way of me getting a first. But that aside, things really do happen for a reason, and I look back on my rejection from Oxford now kindly. I see that that was a time where I was trying to discover what path I was going to take in terms of my career options and what I was going to repeat mode now, but things do happen for a reason. So however, I just want you to know that failure is a very normal part of life, and but if you got accepted, great, fantastic, good for you, you do you. But if you didn't, which applies to most people because it's so competitive and it's just sort of the statistical, factual, inescapable side of the fact that you're applying to such a competitive university, then yeah, you are going to risk the chance of failure. So this video should hopefully cushion that blow that you're facing now if you have been rejected, or if you're watching this in preparation. Yeah, it's a very normal aspect of life, and I wish you well, and I hope you do get in if you're applying, and yeah, good luck. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope this was of use to you, and yeah, I'll speak to you later. Bye!